So this is the installation of the Garmin Zumo XT on my Ténéré 700. And you might wonder, why do I need a separate GPS? Can you just use the map on the phone? And the thing is that if you're just going from A to B, you're going on primary or secondary roads, it works pretty good, just having the Google Maps or whatever maps on your phone. But if you want to take, say you're taking a weekend ride and you want to drive on third-rate roads, then you cannot put waypoints onto the Google Maps. So you can't sit in front of your desktop planning a route you want to take. Say you want to hit a little town or something to eat lunch, but you want to go on like third-rate roads, the smaller roads you can find to get to the place because there's less traffic, more curves or whatever. But you cannot plan your route on your desktop and then send it to your phone, because once you send it to your phone, Google just strips out all the waypoints and just puts the endpoints there. So if you want to use your map to go on places like old mining roads or dirt roads and stuff like that, Google is not going to be able to help you that much. And you can download tracks from websites such as Backcountry Discovery Routes, or you can, in Europe they have similar websites, or you have websites where motorcycle riders share their rides, such as ADV tracks. And in order to use all those downloadable GPS tracks, you need a specific GPS navigation device. So I'm mounting the GPS navigation device above the display on my Ténéré 700. So I'm using a Rally Raid bracket that's specifically made to mount items such as GPS devices. It makes it a lot easier. The Rally Raid bracket has pre-made holes with threads in them to fit Garmin devices and other navigation devices. So I used a piece of rubber strip that's from a bicycle tube to help absorb a little bit of vibrations between the bike and the GPS. And then of course I used thread locker and all the screws. So after the main bracket has been installed on the crossbar, then you install the mounting bracket, and of course more thread locker. And try to make the bracket the exact same angle as the display below. It just looks so much better. I'm connecting the GPS navigation to one of the 3 auxiliary ports that's already on the bike. So I'm using one of the 3 prong connectors, and I already used some of them before, so I'm using a splitter to make one of those connectors into 2. That's a splitter I bought from Eastern Beaver in Japan. The connectors, they are located underneath the painted panels in the front side of the bike. There's 1 connector on one side and 2 on the other side. The advantage of using the connectors is that when you turn off the ignition switch on your bike, then you also turn off the power to whatever you have connected to the electrical system. If you want to bring the electrical connectors for the navigation all the way back to the battery, you need to remove first both parts of the seat, then 3 panels per side. Then you need to remove 2 brackets, one that's holding the battery down and one that's holding the tank down. Then you need to remove the battery, and then you need to lift up the tank in order to route the cables so they don't get chafed and so they'll look nice and tidy. So when you mount these 3 prong connectors, it's a good idea to mark the black or the ground with a little permanent marker, so then you know when you plug it into the connector, I guess the black cable in this case, that you're putting it into the little connector, because it's very easy to damage these connectors, even if you use the proper tools to remove the connectors again, or the wire again. And on this little piece that goes onto the bracket, so this is the piece that came with the Garmin, and this is a piece from Rally Raid, and I bought some little spacers in case I need them. Time will tell. There's a tiny little bitty screw, it's pretty small, that needs to be fastened. And it came with the screwdriver, and it came with a spare screw in case you lose it. And you can feel it once it's fastened. Or first you have to put the little connection piece. So this is where it gets the power from. And it has a little plug, a little cap that you put on. So when you take the GPS off, you place a little cap on to protect the terminals. So the third item to be installed is the mounting bracket itself for the GPS device. And of course, more thread locker. So I routed the cable to the GPS between the main display on the bike and the headlights surround, just because it looks cleaner. So you have to remove 2 Allen wrenches in order to lift off the main display on the bike. And then you just use zip ties and follow the headlight cable back down to the connecting plug. And then you refasten the 2 Allen bolts holding the main display on the bike. Then it's just to clip on the GPS device, and as you can see, you do not need any of the available spacers on the Zumo XT. It also looks so much cleaner when both screens line up. The last step is to remount the windscreen. As you can see, you can never have enough screens on your bike. Thanks for watching, have a good ride. Please subscribe, more videos to follow.